Welcome, Smutters, to Sibsreadsmut Minisode.
Hola!
This is our chance to let you know what else besides Smut is on our reading list and allows us to provide recommendations outside of the Dirtyverse. We'll do our best not to throw out spoilies for any of these titles, but some might just pop out, so be forewarned. A list of titles and titties that we talk about in this episode will be in the description below, so make sure to add those to your Goodreads lists. On this past week's podcast, we discussed Bared to You by Sylvia Day. Helen, what else have you been reading this week?
Okay. Don't be mad at me. I have started a bunch of books and I have not been able to finish. So when that happens and I either renew them on the library, I put them as I have not even started them. I just pretend I haven't started. So I've not actually read anything, but I have two very important things. So I saw a movie last night in a movie theater. I know. And it was we saw it. Ben's aunt is a real mensch. She's fantastic. And she comes over. She's a night owl. So she came over last night. The kids were down. She came over at 9 and we got to go out of the house and she just watched the soccer game and we went out. We went and played tennis under the lights. And then at 10, the lights went off at 10 and it was actually genuinely terrifying. The lights just go out and we had to collect balls with our cell phone cameras. Anyway, and then
Balls.
collect all the balls. And then Ben was like, let's go see a movie. And so we went to see The Invite. Have you heard of this?
No.
It's in theaters. And I think it came out recently. It's gotten really good reviews. It's rated R. And actually, I'm realizing now that I'm talking about it on this podcast specifically. So it's 4 characters. So it's Seth Rogen,
Penelope Cruz, Olivia Wilde, Edward Norton.
Thank you. And they have a dinner party. So they're neighbors. They're 2 couples. They're neighbors. And so Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde invite over their neighbors. And they're part of the crux of the whole movie is that Seth Rogen's I'm going to bring up how they have all this loud sex. And Olivia Wilde is you are not going to bring that up. How dare you? That is not at all what, do not bring it up. I will kill you. And so they are the couple that Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde, they're bickering a lot. And then this, Ed Norton and Penelope Cruz. And so it's a whole movie just in this one apartment. So it's the night of this whole thing. And so it covers all of this stuff. And it's really well done. I laughed very hard at some points because then the sex does eventually come up. And Seth Rogen is you guys have loud sex. And it's, you can hear. And then there's the way that then tumbles out. I will not be ruining it. I really enjoyed it. I don't know. Ben was it's gotten really good reviews. We need to go see it in the theater. Definitely don't need to see it in a theater. I feel I could have watched it at home. Would I have paid attention and been on my cell phone part of the time? Probably. If I watched it streaming at home. That's guilty of me. But yeah. And I had popcorn and they, get this, had caffeine-free Diet Coke at the theater.
Whoa.
Can you believe? I was thrilled. And so I had just a lovely nightcap of half of a large popcorn and a caffeine-free Diet Coke. So, I mean, that is a piece
living
of
your best
culture.
life.
Honestly, it was great. Although, we got home. It was a 10-15 movie and then, ended at 12:30 with all the frickin' intro movies. And then, of course, my child was up at 6 a.m. So that part wasn't fun. But
yeah.
It was cool.
Well, you said you had 2 things. What's the other?
Well, this one's much more embarrassing. It's a TikTok trend that I don't know.
You just snorted.
I don't know if I should admit to this. So there's a TikTok trend, which is not basically where all of these people are now starting to do these ancient Chinese physical moves in the morning. So when you wake up,
swing their arms and everything else. Yeah,
the lymphatic hops and the
sure.
arm swings and all this stuff. The exercises are ancient, an ancient Chinese or ancient Eastern whatever. But my TikTok has been full. My For You page, I can't get away from these people who are now doing it. So now I've started doing it.
You're supposed to do each one of these 7 moves for a minute apiece, and I hated that the videos are like 30 seconds long, so I downloaded it, cut them up, and made each one a minute long.
Did?
Yeah, so I have a video on my phone of that. I don't do it that much anymore, but I used to. You're late to this trend. I was doing this like 8 months ago, 10 months ago.
Nobody told me about the trend. How dare you? I sent it to my friend Katie, and a while ago she was like, "We need to get back on our Pelotons," and I was like, "Yes, sister. Starting Friday, we're getting on the tons." And then she texted me like 2 weeks later. She's like, "Have you gotten on?" I was like, "Mm-mm." Still unplugged, and just sitting here. It only gets plugged in when you're in town.
Yeah.
So I did start paying for my membership again, though. So I do need to use it.
And they have more stuff to do than just the bike stuff. You know,
I was going to say, when you come in town next, will you install that turning head thing on the Peloton so I can turn the screen and do the weight workouts?
Sure. You also told me multiple times that you didn't want me to put that on there because you were going to shift it around. Did you buy one?
Oh, no. Do I have to buy one?
Yeah, they don't just exist.
Okay, yeah, I'll buy one. I don't even know when you're coming to town next.
I'll send you the link. It's pretty easy. Ben should be able to do it, no problem. But
okay.
now that you've discussed no books and read nothing else this week,
but I talked about a movie and a TikTok trend, so that's my contribution.
I'll tell you all the books that I've read because it's a week and a half after our last recording, and I had 2 plane rides in there too.
Covered a lot.
There's a lot in here. So we have I've read the book 3 Into Darkness, Navessa Allen. Game On. I finished Game On.
Who are the characters in that one?
That is the original guy from book 1's roommate and a random woman.
Okay.
And then I finished book 3 in the Nelson DeMille series that I was reading, Tin Men, Scott Brody, Maggie Taylor, book 3. I read book 2 on last minisode, and it was good. I like that. It was kind of the end. He died, I think Nelson DeMille died, so the son continued it on and finished it, but he died right before that book was fully written. So there's a nice like foreword by the son.
Isn't there a romance novel about something like that where the kid picks up the parents' books? Didn't we just read one like that? It's like in Ireland or something. Yeah,
there's an English one where she's writing the fantasy novel that her dad left off. But he had been dead a while, I think, and she was continuing the series on, and he was the publisher that was trying to like get her to finish the book. But yeah, I remember that. I can't remember what the name of it is. I finished the Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon, Beth Brower, which was good. You know, it was kind of period piece, sassy, strong woman in the 1800s. Taking care of business, and it's super short. It's like 3 hours long. So for us, it's 90 minutes, which was nice. It was a good plane read. Also, short plane read. I finally finished Morning Glory Milking Farm by C.M. Nascosta.
All right, should we put that on season 3? This is my question to you. Or do you just want to talk about it here? I need to know your thoughts on the machine that they attach to the centaurs.
The milking machine, yeah. What do you mean my thoughts on it? I mean, it's literally just a semen sucker.
Could you fucking imagine? I cannot get over that. And the mind, like the absolute cumfuckery of like, who thinks of that? Like, I want to talk to this author. I mean, I feel like you could probably come up with something like that if you were to write one. I guess. I don't know. It is so wild to me. I read it and my jaw was on the floor that she just like, because they like jerk them off with their hands and then suddenly she's like, okay, it seems like he's about to be milked, and she like plops this machine onto his dong and then it sucks the cum out.
Because their semen is the little blue pill for humans.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So it's technically a medical
a lot.
procedure, So she's trying to come to terms with, is this sex work or is it not sex work? And it's like, no, it's a medical procedure, but you are jerking dudes off all day, It's centaurs,
Yeah.
But yeah, that book was nuts. And so there's like 5 books in the series, and some are vampires, some are whatever. We talked about a little bit in past seasons, but or not seasons, but episodes. But yeah, it was kind of wacky. Would I read more in that space? Probably. It's I don't know. They're short. They're little short.
They're short.
Things.
Yeah.
So it's not that big of a time commitment. But yeah, it was good. It was just a little kind of predictable to me in the way the actual romance part of it was just kind of blah. The entire world surrounding it, she's friends with a vampire, all those other kind of stuff. Yeah. That was interesting. But it was a little. Yeah, it was weird. But I also read Far-Flung Life, M.L. Stedman. I think I mentioned that I was getting to that on the last one. That was okay. It was, a little depressing. Lots of trauma on this sheep ranch in Australia. But if you like this author's work, I thought it was pretty good. Yeah. The Anniversary by Alex Finlay. We had talked about this a little bit.
That's like a thriller, right?
Yeah, thriller where it's told. Every chapter is told from the day of the anniversary of an assault. So like every chapter is 1 year later. It's a cool kind of writing device that I enjoyed. And the book was pretty good too. Wed or Alive. I finished Portia MacIntosh. Wed, W-E-D. And this was funny because romance novel about girl thinks she's in love with her best friend. She's not. She's just kind of comfortable with him and doesn't want to go looking for anybody. And then she meets a hot cowboy in England. Ooh. But they have a very funny line where the female main character's best friend just always goes, if there's something that is weird in your apartment or whatever else, say it's a sex thing, and people will just stop asking you about it. And so they're sharing a room, her and the cowboy, and they're not actually dating, yet. So he's sleeping on the floor, and one of the bride comes in and was like, why are there sheets on the floor? And she goes, it's a sex thing. And she goes, oh, okay. And then they just move on. And that made me laugh a lot. But yeah, it's a sex thing. Mad Mabel by Sally Hepworth.
Did you? That was my most recent book club book.
Which I thought about you too, because the main characters, one laughs and snorts, and the other laughs and farts, and so it's very funny of them like laughing, and then they just make each other laugh even harder because one's snorting, one's farting, and it just keeps going over and over and over again. It made me laugh a lot. I really enjoyed that one. That was a definite recommend for me. Ward Larsen, book 6 in this David Slanton spy assassin series, which I enjoyed. Ann Patchett, Whistler. I like that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I gave that 5
stars. Ann Patchett does is.
I gave that 5 stars for sure. Book 4 in Michael Chatfield, Alien War Saga with Enemies on All Sides. I enjoyed that one as well. I finally got on the trend. The show's now out, and you were berating me that this book came out so long ago. But Laura Dave, The Last Thing He Told Me, the Hannah Hall book 1.
I did not berate you.
You were like, oh my God, that book's so old. And,
you said, are you going to read this on the library? And I said, I read it 5 years ago.
Yeah, you're
ding
butthole. You dingbat. I liked it.
Was there a restaurant in Pittsburgh called Dingbats? Over in the waterfront? Waterworks.
There was Damon's.
Nope.
I don't think it was Dingbats.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not. I can't remember. You gotta text mom and dad.
I was gonna say that's a.
And then
carry on. What else did
MJ Kuhn Among Thieves, and that was a good kind of what do you call it? Fantasy book, from back in the day. It was fun, and that's everything fit to print this week. I'm almost done. I'm almost done with a couple other ones, but it is. More to come next week on next week's Minisode. I have one trope debate for this week.
Okay.
Trope debate: Grumpy versus Sunshine. You got to pick one. What's your preference?
Oh, I mean, I feel like I married a Grumpy. Hi, Ben. I love you. Yeah. I feel like Grumpy, I guess reading, I don't know if I trust a Sunshine. Like, I don't know. I would just go Grumpy across the board in books and in real life. As long as there's like a, soft underbelly. Which there almost always is.
To stab right into. I was going to say, I like when the FMC, the female main character is the Grumpy and kind of flips the narrative on its head. We see all too many times the male lead being the grumpy one. Mm-hmm. I like when the female is the grumpy one. It kind of turns the trope on its head. I enjoy that a lot. The sunshine, the golden retriever kind of stuff. I don't love that as much. But it's also nice to see when the guy is just not the assholey kind of grump the whole time. I'm about to start a new Devney Perry series.
Ooh.
and it's one is the cop who is pissy with the woman that moves to town, and I'm like, same thing every fucking time. But we as you just found out too, we love us some Devney Perry.
Devney Perry.
That I'm looking forward to that new series.
I need to tell you, Dingbats is a real fucking restaurant, and it was right over on Freeport Road, just as I thought, right next to the Chili's baby back ribs. But Dingbats is legitimately what it was. It closed like in the 90s.
Yeah.
So I am not crazy.
You had to go on a deep dive to find that.
I did have to go on a deep dive because it is too late. If we were in college, I would just call mom and dad right now and put them on speakerphone and not tell them that they were being recorded, but I will let them sleep.
Forgo that.
I will forgo the sober dial at midnight.
Yeah. Anything else for this week? Hell's bells?
No. I don't even know. It's been like a week and a half, 2 weeks since, what'd you say, 10 days since we recorded. I feel like I've started a lot of books. You and I were both home in Pittsburgh for 4th of July, which was great. And I had 2 travel days as well, but I just couldn't, you know what? Sitting in the back seat with 2 kids is not like
conducive to listening to porno.
I really thought that I was gonna fire hose a bunch of books, and I ended up working half the car ride home and or kidding. So
kidding, parenting.
Yes, babysitting my children, which was a lot of work. But I will say, and Benjamin will be very happy, we did recently obtain a minivan. We are a minivan family now. I always was very serious that I would never drive a minivan, and
you love it.
I don't hate it for this season of life. I think specifically the things that I really love about it are the doors that open sideways, like the automatic doors that don't open out, because like getting car seats in and out is so fucking annoying. So that has been my favorite part. And then it's a new car, so it's got Apple CarPlay and all the gadgets, which is just nice because I don't have that in my car. So yeah.
New phase in life.
It really is. But I, to that point of like Apple CarPlay, now I can't like put in my headphone, the romance really does just like start blasting every time I get in the car with kids. So I really need to like figure. It's not like in my car I have to like push a button to get the Bluetooth to like connect and stuff. And this, it's just like we're talking about
blaring
tits and ass. Idiot.
Squish.
Right.
Well, check out all the
Close it
books we
down.
talked. Yeah, check out all the books we talked about in this minisode in the description below, and join us next week for Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. It's
I have
going to
an
be
idea.
a good one.
I'm going to start telling you all of the children's books that I'm reading.
Those
And
count.
I was going to say, if I add those for my Goodreads, could you imagine? I read the entire Little Blue Truck series. So I say I'm not a series girly, but I did read 7 Little Blue Truck books for bedtime
Today.
tonight. Literally an hour ago. So I don't want people to think that I've lost my knack for reading. In fact,
Just about little blue-balled trucks.
oh, don't do that. Oh, that's a bummer. All right.
Tune in next week. Icebreaker for Hannah Grace. That's all we have to say about that.
Smutty.
Tune in next week.
Oh, stay smutty. Okay, bye.
Goodbye.